Welcome to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. Each month, we'll feature business and community leaders sharing their stories, initiatives, concerns, and passions. Learn practical information regarding community resources and opportunities. Now, the host of Business Voice, Greece Regional Chamber President and CEO, Sarah Lentini.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Prado Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host and also the president of the Greece Regional Chamber, and I've got a wonderful lineup of guests today, starting with my first guest, Kim Tanner from Home 2 Suites by Hilton. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. Kim, tell us a little bit about Home 2 Suites by Hilton. It's a little bit of a mouthful. Hope I'm saying it right.
You are saying it absolutely correctly. So the Home 2 Suites is one of the Hilton brand family hotels. We are a brand new hotel opening up in the Rochester, Greece area, right off of 390. It's an all-suite hotel with 119 rooms.
Wow.
It's a very large hotel, and it is fun. It's trendy, and it's really geared towards all sorts of travelers.
That's wonderful. Now, you said all suite. So by a suite, do you mean living room, bedroom?
They are living areas, you would call them, and a guest room, the guest bed, and then there's a kitchenette.
Nice. So
you'll have the dishwasher, a full-size fridge, sink, microwave, and then we have induction burners that our guests can borrow.
Oh, wow.
So the guests can really stay for several days and enjoy making dinners in their comfort of their own home away from home.
That's wonderful. I imagine this is very popular with, well, probably with just about anybody, but particularly, I'm guessing it could be particularly popular if you've got a wedding to go to or you're visiting family, but they don't have quite, I mean, what sorts of travelers do you get?
Absolutely. We're geared towards an extended stay traveler. Mm-hmm. Ideally, some of our guests would be staying with us for 5+ nights.
Nice.
Anyone relocating to the Rochester area or displaced from their home for any reason,
right,
or waiting for their home to be built.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of local companies are hiring from outside, and we're looking for those guests that would like to stay with us too. We are also looking at some weekend sports teams, some weekend wedding guests to stay with us.
The list goes on.
It really
does. I imagine it's very attractive. And, of course, with the amenities that you've described inside the suite, you can kind of save on food, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big expense when you're traveling. One thing is the overnight stay, but the other is, you kind of end up eating in restaurants, and that can be a little bit pricey. So this gives people the option of, bringing in, right?
It's right. Going to a restaurant every night for the frequent traveler is not always something that they want to do. And it's health conscious. Anyone that has allergies, they just might prefer to prepare their own meals. Mm-hmm. And we have certain, Wegmans is right down the road from us, and guests can grab and go and come back. And we also have grills outdoors.
Oh, wow.
In our back area by our pool. There'll be gas grills that guests can use. And there's lots of seating in the lobby and out back, so guests can just relax.
That's wonderful. So I heard pool. You had me at pool.
We have a great indoor pool, super spacious deck area. As I mentioned earlier, fun, Adirondack chairs that are bright colors.
Love those.
Lots of windows in the area. It's really, right now it looks a little bare, but it's getting there. Just got the tile out last week and looking really nice.
So this is going to be a brand spanking new, gorgeous new hotel with 119 all suites, right?
That's correct.
All suite rooms, which is fantastic.
We do have some of our rooms are one bedroom suites is what they're considered, and then we do have rooms that are a bedroom and then have a private living room area too. So a little bit different for people that might be traveling with a family. Or
that's what I was just going to ask you. Are there adjoining rooms? We
do have a few adjoining rooms in the hotel, mm-hmm. and all the rooms have pull-out sofa couches. Mm-hmm. Definitely perfect for a traveling family.
That's wonderful. Now, this is brand new, and it's sort of coming online, right? So are you, tell us a little bit about, are you officially open? open?
Sure.
And when are you going to be? Because I know you're doing a big event with us, so I want you to talk a little about that too.
I've had the pleasure of being with the hotel since July, and when I started there were no walls, so you could walk into the hallway and see the guest room on one side all the way down to the next, which was pretty fun to watch it all come together. We are taking reservations as of March 12th.
Oh, wow. Great.
Of this year and beyond, up until a year ahead of time.
So as of now, as of this airing, people can book, right? They can book at the hotel?
Guests can book now. They can book through the 1-800 line for Hilton, or they could go to our website, and I could be happy to share that with
That'd
you.
That'd be awesome.
If you'd like.
Thank you.
Really, you can just go to Hilton.com, which is the easiest way, but our direct website is rochestergreece.home2suitesbyhilton.com.
Okay. So Hilton.com is the simple umbrella address. And then you can search by location.
Exactly.
And Greece is what you're looking for. Home 2 Suites by Hilton, Greece. You're the only one in Greece,
We are
New
the
York,
only
right?
one in Greece.
Awesome. That's great. Well, that's very exciting, Kim. And obviously you've been watching this. This is like the birth of a very beautiful baby.
It is.
And you've got a big grand opening celebration that we're going to roll out together, correct?
Yes.
With the Greece Regional Chamber. You want to tell folks about
to
that?
having the Greece Chamber assist us in the ribbon cutting, which we'll be doing on Wednesday, May 20th. We'll be having our management company there, some local dignitaries, and would like to invite the community to come and see the new property and see all we have to offer.
Oh, what fun. That sounds wonderful. So that's May 20th.
Yes.
3:30 p.m. is the ribbon cutting ceremony,
That's
right?
That's correct.
And then you're doing an open house?
We'll do some tours, open house right afterward.
Wonderful. That sounds like fun. And it's free.
Yes.
And open to the public.
Yes.
That sounds fantastic. And I bet a lot of people will be very excited to see the inside. And all of us have, family, friends, lots of good reasons to want to know about the amenities at Home 2 Suites by Hilton. Now, Kim, what is your role? We probably should have started with that. What is your role there?
I am the director of sales. My main role is to work with the local community and the local businesses to negotiate corporate rates, to negotiate some group rates, and assist any family members that are in need of relocation.
Mm-hmm. And I've known you forever. In fact, I knew you in a previous life.
Yes.
So you've been doing this kind of work for a while. This isn't your first experience in this kind of a role in the hospitality field, right?
I have been working in the hotel business for many years. This is the first hotel that I've really had the opportunity to see from the studs, so to speak, and really see it to come to life. And I can't tell you how exciting it is. We have a great team, and part of the Home 2, they've really talked to us a lot about building a great culture and maintaining employees and doing everything that we can to be a family, because we have your families and your clients staying with us. So we want to make sure we make everybody as comfortable as possible.
Well, that's a great culture, great attitude. Tell us a little bit more about the opportunities that somebody might have for connecting. Is there any possibility for a business, if a chamber or a business wanted to use space at the hotel, is there any possibility of being able to have a small event there?
We do not have meeting space at this location, but we do have great public space. So if guests wanted to just have a quiet meeting with somebody else that they're picking up at the hotel, there's lots of small meeting areas, just 2 chairs and a table that guests could go to. And I did mention the gas fireplaces outdoors. That's in our back by the pool. In the front, we have a outdoor fire pit with seating.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Guests can grab a glass of wine and go sit down and relax after a long business day.
That's fantastic. Is there a bar?
We do not have a bar. It's considered a focus service property, all suites. So we have complimentary breakfast, but we don't have the added bar or restaurant.
Are people able to bring anything they want in?
Definitely, and we encourage that.
That's great.
There's so much in this community. Our location, I find myself trying to identify it, and we've talked a little bit about, we are pretty much Greece, but Gates is right down the road.
Yeah.
The city of Rochester is 5 miles away. So guests could use rideshare, get to lots of local restaurants. We have a couple new restaurants that opened up in the Greece area right off of Westridge Road there, or Ridge Road rather. Grubhub is all over, and we encourage guests to utilize that.
That's great.
We've been working hard on visiting a lot of these restaurants just so we can tell our guests which ones to go to.
Market research.
It's definitely market research.
I want to come with you next time.
Yes.
So say again exactly where you are. What is the address?
The address is 400 Bellwood Drive.
Oh, okay.
Guests might recognize it driving 390 North right next to BJ's.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own entranceway, or you can enter right through BJ's area.
Mm-hmm.
And Lexington Ave is the exit to get off at on the highway. On the other side of us, behind us, is Canal Ponds, where there's a lot of corporate accounts there and businesses, and guests can enter through Long Pond through the Canal Ponds to get to the hotel.
Oh, yeah. Bellwood is absolutely, you're right, anybody who's driven on or off the highway around there is going to recognize Bellwood, and that is a great location, and you are right off of the main drag, so it's convenient to the airport as well.
It is.
Something to consider for folks. So, the thing that we started talking about before we actually went on air, when we were just sort of talking in studio, was the fact that Home 2 Suites by Hilton is, one of a number of hotels in the family, right?
It is.
And tell us just a little bit, because I didn't realize, the grouping of hotels that were all sort of affiliated.
Absolutely. Hilton is a very large organization, and they have lots of different tiers. There's something for every traveler.
Mm-hmm.
Our hotel happens to be great for the extended stay guests. And then we have full service Hiltons, and there's lots of new things coming into the market. Home 2 is somewhat new. There are about 400 properties all over the United States and abroad, and they're growing. I want to say they have almost 450 or so that are coming up down the road. And
did you say 450?
450 properties
that are coming,
total.
That are in total that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some that are still under construction. So over the next year, you'll see it grow. It is a franchise. Mm-hmm. We happen to be owned by someone local, and that makes
That's even better.
It makes it really great. Mm-hmm. There's nothing like seeing an owner of a hotel walk through and check on everything, and I appreciate all of his input that he gives, and it's been an enjoyable process.
Oh, it sounds great. And I imagine it's going to become even more popular. To me, it seems like it fits with what little I understand of the millennials, right? I'm not even sure if that's the generation we should be talking about anymore, but it seems as though it kind of fits in with a culture that I see with a younger population. So
absolutely.
That's
the
wonderful.
Trendy look of the hotel, you'll see lots of vibrant colors. There's bright green, fluorescent greens combined with pink polka dots and pink mirrors.
Oh, wow.
It's really trendy, and it's very, very modern.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Definitely spacious. So one thing I've learned through my years, and I think I was giving an airline crew a tour, and they said, if you could do yoga in your guest room, it's a good guest room to be in. And this room, you could definitely do yoga and beyond.
That's great. What a great visual that is, and that sounds like a comfortable suite, a comfortable room. Kim Tanner, Home 2 Suites by Hilton. I know that you said this earlier in the program, Kim, but if people want to get in touch with you one more time.
I could give my email address as well. It's very easy. It's kimberly.tanner@hilton.com. I'd also really appreciate encouraging anyone to find me on Facebook. We have the Home 2 Suites Rochester, Greece is how it's listed on Facebook. And I've been posting pictures of things from the beginning and to now. Today, if you would look at us, we'll have the bright, shiny property, but you'll get to see some of the nitty-gritty of boxes being delivered and our team working hard to unpack those boxes.
What fun. That sounds wonderful. That sounds great. And grand opening, May 20th, 3:30 p.m. is the ribbon cutting, followed by an open house of sorts, and the public is welcome. It's free, and the public is welcome to come and check out Home 2 Suites by Hilton on Bellwood Drive in Greece, right?
That's
Technically
correct.
In the town of Greece. Kim Tanner, thank you so much for joining us here today on Business Voice.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we've got lots more coming up, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
20,000 watts of truth. WYSL AM 1040, FM 92.1 and 95.5 West.
The loss of a loved one can be an overwhelming time of hectic activity and high emotion. Remembering and celebrating the lives of those who have passed is important and fulfilling. A meaningful farewell, focusing on their life story, can help with healing. Some families turn to the clergy at their church to capture the essence of a person's life. However, those who may not be connected with the church may worry there is no one to fulfill this important role. At Bartolomeo and Parado, we believe that a life remembered lives on. One of our trained funeral celebrants can help you thoughtfully design and organize your loved one's treasured memories and ensure that the story of their life is not forgotten. Discover how you can create a meaningful farewell. Visit Bartolomeo.com or call us today at 585-720-6000.
Need help with health insurance? The Greece Regional Chamber provides assistance with health insurance for businesses, nonprofits, families, and individuals throughout our region. We pride ourselves on the personalized service that we provide for our clients. Let us help you find health insurance plans that fit your needs and navigate the paperwork. Greece Chamber Benefit Partners, located at 2402 Westridge Road in Rochester, New York, offers a broad range of medical insurance plans for businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and families throughout the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region, working with insurance companies including Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, Univera, and MVP Healthcare. We can also help you access insurance plans through the New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Again, you do not need to live or work in Greece to utilize our brokerage services. We serve the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region of New York State. Visit greecechamber.org to sign up for one of our free health insurance information sessions or schedule an appointment with one of our licensed brokers. Call 585-227-7272. 585-227-7272.
Since 1983, Herko Computers is Rochester's first and most experienced custom computer system builder. Herko Computers is proud to be working with many of our original customers, including the Greece Chamber of Commerce. Whether you need a custom business PC, gaming system, or network server, Herko Computers can build you a custom computer system that exceeds your expectations. Herko Computers also offers complete IT support for your business. We can configure your business network, provide security from viruses and ransomware to keep your business or medical office running the way it should be. Herko Computers is also a full-service provider of network wiring, Wi-Fi, and network camera systems. Need to upgrade from Windows 7? Give Herko Computers a call at 227-1270 to discuss your options to get your business upgraded to Windows 10. Herko Computers is proudly locally owned and operated since 1983. Call us at 227-1270 and schedule your Herko Computers free IT evaluation. Herko Computers, 227-1270.
Radiant Hire Solutions is igniting growth in the Rochester and Buffalo areas for manufacturing, healthcare, legal firms, and industries small and large. They help companies hire and retain their top employees while increasing revenue so they can stay focused on their core business. Having difficulty finding and retaining top performers for your industry? Give them a call. They work with all types of positions, from manufacturing and executive level to technical and healthcare and everything in between. Their onboarding programs have helped all types of businesses retain their top employees. Or perhaps you need a partner to meet your sales needs without the ramp-up time and turnover of an in-house team. Schedule a free consultation to see how outsourcing sales can benefit your business. They also offer exclusive discounts and special consideration for Greece Chamber members. Where does your business need more support? Give us a call and we'll be with you every step of the way. Visit RadiantHireSolutions.com or call 585-734-3905.
Depositing your money with Genesee Regional Bank helps strengthen the local community. That's because GRB lends its deposits to local businesses and individuals so they can grow and prosper. From your favorite bakery to your family dentist to the technology company where your neighbor works, to helping families buy a home. That keeps Rochester rock solid. Become a GRB client today. Genesee Regional Bank. Community banking, community building.
Visit grbbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 417491.
Well Now Urgent Care, located on Dewey Avenue off Route 18, is extending its hours to provide convenient care that fits in your schedule. Now open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. We're here to help make it all better for those in the Greece community who are experiencing non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses. We offer on-site x-rays and lab testing and accept most insurance. Be sure to also check out our nearby locations in Irondequoit, Gates, and Fairport. Visit wellnow.com to check in online.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
More than 20,000 watts of truth. WYSL AM 1040, FM 92.1 and 95.5 West.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Parado Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, president of the Greece Regional Chamber, and also your host, and am delighted to welcome our next guest, Doug Herko of Herko Computers. Welcome, Doug.
Oh, hi.
Hi. It's great to have you on the show, Doug.
Yeah, normally I'm just too busy to do stuff like this, but, you know.
Well, we're delighted you made time for us. That's very, very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we've been working with you and Herko Computers forever, right? You've been working with the Greece Regional Chamber, and you've been a member of ours forever. I don't actually know how long. You predate me.
Well, I sold the founder, or the original Tom Schomer, I think, his computer back in the late 80s or whatever.
You really go back to the beginning.
Yeah, He had a tiny little office there in like a one-man office, yeah.
And I'm sure that was in a very different location, because my understanding is the chamber has moved a whole bunch of times. But Thomas Schomer is actually, he's the guy who started the chamber. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. Started the Greece Regional Chamber, and unfortunately he's since passed away. But was he a great guy?
Yeah, yeah.
So you knew him, and you did business with him.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like I say, it was a one-man operation. He started it, and then it grew into what you have now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. And speaking of operations that sort of grow, Herko Computers is, one could argue, something that's done something similar, right? You've had an arc. How long has the business? You started the business, right? You own the business. You started the business.
I started it in the 80s, but so it's been over 35 years we've been doing this.
Wow. What made you go into the computer business?
Well, it was funny. I was going to be a mechanical engineer. I was going to Arizona State, and so I went out there for the summer, and I got a job at an auto parts store, and they were putting this big computer, and at the time they had all the inventory on cards, and the guys they'd write everything on paper. And so I helped the computer guy count stuff for him, and so he could put it in the computer. So that's when I saw that. That was it. Yeah.
You were hooked.
Yeah. Well, it made a lot of sense. I mean, it's amazing what people used to do in the old days.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then, but that I didn't get into the business back then, but I did work for Sykes Datatronics, which is long gone, and they made like a computer system for hotels and phone management.
So big systems from the get-go.
Yeah, but then the PC came out, and that's when I got into the computer business, because I saw that the future. I remember telling my people at Sykes that this is the way it's going to go, and they went another way, and of course most of those companies are went out of business that didn't go that route.
Yeah, I imagine it wasn't immediately apparent what the future was going to be. It never is. No. And now it seems like, how could anybody have, not understood that the PC was going to be revolutionary, which it really was.
I mean, it's just like the cell phones when they first came out, now look what we have now.
I know. We live on them, literally. I think, it's gotten a little crazy. But just to go back, so you're at Arizona State, you said.
I was.
You're studying mechanical engineering.
I actually, at that point, I decided not to go, and I got into computers instead. So
did you actually study computers in college as well?
Well, yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I mean, it was
most of
it's self-taught, because back then they didn't have really have anything, unless you wanted to learn data processing or something. So the PC market was new. So
I imagine it was very new. It's changed a tremendous amount in my lifetime. We're probably contemporaries, so I completely understand what you mean. There's been more change than one could possibly have imagined, and it was a brand new field, absolutely a brand new field. So when did you start the company? And you started it immediately in Rochester?
Well, not immediately, but I started it back in 1984, and then but I actually was working for this other company, Sykes at the time, and then I opened up in February of '86 in back of Buckman Plaza. We opened up a first little store,
about a block from the chamber, right?
Yeah,
really close to us.
Yeah, and I know Ralph DiStefano there. He's was a great guy at the time, and he let me rent a space, with some unknown guy. He's like he liked me, so he said, "Yeah, you can rent." And here I didn't have anything established, and so he took a chance on me. And of course, we outgrew that space in a couple of years and had to move into a big building somewhere. So
what a great story, though. Initially, I didn't even know that you and Ralph knew each other. Ralph is also Ralph Senior.
Well, I know Ralph Jr. too. But
Yes. Yeah, and for anybody who doesn't know, the DiStefano family has played a pretty pivotal role in all sorts of things related to business, but also beyond business, not just in Greece, but in the greater Rochester area. So, of course, they're the name behind Buckman's Plaza, but also the Buckman's Dairy that a lot of people remember. And then I know that Ralph Sr. played a pivotal role in starting, I don't even know what the hospital would have been called originally, but starting a hospital on the west side, which is today Unity Hospital and part of the Rochester Regional Health System. So quite the legacy that the family has.
Yeah, well, he was a great guy, but he just liked me, and he he didn't require a big deposit or anything. Nice. He just said, no, I believe you're going to do well. And
oh wow, old school.
Yeah,
kind of on a handshake, right?
Yeah, it was really.
That's really nice. Yeah, you don't run into that too often.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. Maybe not even then, but definitely not now.
No, he was he was a great guy. So.
That's wonderful. So the business has grown, and obviously it's been a number of years, and I imagine you have clients. I don't even know this. Do you have clients all over the county? Do you have clients
all over most of Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse? We've got some in as far as Albany, Watertown, Oneonta. Some of my customers have locations there, so we travel all over to those sites.
And it seems to me that one of the things that I would say is particularly impressive and important about you and your company is your responsiveness.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, it's important. I mean, most people, I find if you don't take care of it right away, they're going to go somewhere else anyway. So, but these days you see too many places you call up and you just don't get any service.
Service is so important, and you're right. I think it's going by the wayside, but the good news is it's a way to distinguish oneself. And one of the things, and I should probably say right up front that you work with the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. You're not only a member and now a premium member of the Greece Regional Chamber, but you've also been helping us with our IT needs over a long period of time. And that is one of the things that we really appreciate, is that if there's an issue, I know that we can reach out to you, and you're there literally in a matter of a couple of minutes. And not everybody's like that, so kudos to you. But it means that you work hard. I imagine you're working hard, right? Yeah. So who are your customers? I mean, we that's a pretty big. What was the geography like? Watertown, Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, obviously, and then are the majority of your clients of a particular size or a particular industry, or all over the place?
It varies. I mean, we have some industrial type businesses with dentists, doctors' offices. Some of the ones around the state are one of the collision shop chains has purchased a bunch of the shops around the state here, so we do a lot of support for them.
That's great. In case you're just joining us, you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Parato Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, president of the Chamber and your host of the show, and I'm delighted to be here with Doug Herko of Herko Computers, who is somebody who provides IT services of all sorts to businesses of all sizes within a pretty big geography. But, of course, the Rochester region is sort of the heart and the core, and where you started it all. And where is your office, by the way?
We're in the old Delco Vallejo plant over there on Lyle Avenue.
Oh, nice.
So we've been there, I don't know, it's going on 7 years, but yeah, it's a nice, it's a shame that, the plant closed, but I mean, they really made nice use of it, the space, and there's probably 80 businesses or more in there.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So 80 businesses of all kinds. Can the public walk in, or are they sort of private offices?
Well, some of it's open and but you can drive around the building or whatever, but yeah, they split it all up. So
That's great.
It is. It's a nice, nice use of the property.
Well, and that just sort of underscores, as long as we've worked with you, I've never come to your office.
No.
We've never come to you
Yeah.
because you're in the service business, so you always come to the customer, which is very nice. Now, tell us a little bit about the kinds of services, because IT is such a big universe. Information technology, such a big universe, obviously growing and changing rapidly as well. But what sorts of things, what kinds of services do you provide for businesses?
Well, mainly security, as far as firewall protection and
Very
intrusion
important.
protection. Yeah, there's a lot of customers that have been hacked or had some ransomware or something like that come in. So you have to do a lot of prevention. Yeah, I just happened to be somewhere yesterday. That I don't do their IT stuff, but the software they're using got hacked or something, so they couldn't. Couldn't
function.
Yeah, function.
Yeah.
So
wow.
So it's it's a big problem these days, and we've seen it a lot.
And so, are the kinds of software that you need to put in always changing and being updated? I imagine I know that's
some of it's
you do for us.
you need obviously virus protection on your computer, but these days you need a very good firewall that has live protection, so it can automatically respond to these new threats that come out all the time.
Live protection?
Yeah, they update. It goes to a cloud server and gets updated. Like the firewall in your office does that. It's constantly getting new data to protect it against new threats that come out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's much better than something out of a box, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is going to be static, and it's not going to have that
right.
kind
So
of
but that's what
responsiveness.
a lot of people don't have that, but it's very important that you do. And it's just there's just constant. If you look on these things, there's just people are constantly getting attacked. If you look at a firewall and look at the report, there's constantly things going on trying to get in.
Oh, you mean you can even see, even if somebody wasn't successful?
Yeah, it says
if
it
you're
would say
the
it blocked
administrator,
it.
you can see that there were all sorts of
attacks
that were trying to get through.
Yeah, someone's looking all the time for a way to get in.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, especially now, with people with credit card processing, everybody's got to do those PCI compliance scans. And it's amazing what little things will, make them fail these days. So if you have anything open, accessible, that, it's always a big problem now to pass that because all the data breaches and going on now.
And I imagine you've been in the business for a long time. I imagine early on this really wasn't an issue, right?
No. Well, I mean, in the old days, everybody's credit card went through the phone, so you ran it through the telephone line.
Right.
So once they went on the internet, now those machines are all being attacked all the time, and you probably, if you had one, you'll probably see that they get updated quite a bit. The credit card companies, try to keep them secure, but. It's a big deal, but that's a big issue now. Same with an email these days too. Is important. You need a good secure email platform.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we had actually Dr. Michael C. Redmond from EFPR Group was on our last show, and she was, she's a cybersecurity specialist, so she was talking about the fact that, this is just an ongoing and growing threat across the globe, and then also that, there are, at the same time, there are new and increasing rules, regulations, and laws that have to do with cybersecurity, security, and privacy, which make this a pretty complicated landscape, a pretty critical one for any business. But then you also provide, sort of the core elements of IT, right?
Oh, right.
Computers.
Computers, networking, just all the stuff, printers, whatever
servers.
You need. Servers, exactly. So, to keep a business running. Because, a lot of the doctor clients, they have, each operator needs a computer these days. And, they use them for digital signage now. You can put up in a building.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we've done that. We've got like a sign, instead of having a signboard up. We have one in the collision shop that tells them the labor rates and that. And if you want to change it, you just go update it. And,
yeah. Well, so if somebody wants to reach you, if they have an interest in Herko computers and what it is that you have to offer, how would they do that? You have a website, I trust.
Yeah, it's hercocomputers.com, or, our main number is 585-227-1270.
585-227-1270.
Yes.
And then herkocomputers.com. And Herko is Herko, right?
Right.
herkocomputers.com. As you kind of look to the future, do you have any thoughts about what businesses should be particularly focused on as they're looking at their IT needs? Obviously, we've talked about ransomware and security, but are there any other things, and are there products that are coming down the pike that might be interesting for people? I don't have any clue about any of that. I don't know if you guys have, your finger on the pulse of what might be the next
the big
great
thing now for the last few years, everybody's talking about everything's on the cloud now. So
right.
so servers and all that should be going away. Which in theory is a good idea, but like I say, this place I went in the other day, all their software packages on the cloud, and the cloud got hacked, and so they can't work.
Right.
So I'm not 100% thinking that's the best way to go for everything.
You do think it's the best way to go?
No, I don't.
You don't
I'm saying
think
because
it's
they're out of business that way.
Right.
Not, and that doesn't happen all that often, but it's just an example that.
But that is catastrophic if it happens. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've not, we've not gone to a cloud-based anything. But I know a lot of people that swear by a cloud-based environment. Yeah. But then I've always had the fear that you just brought up, which is
exactly
you've really lost control at a certain point.
Well, exactly,
right?
because I've never seen it that bad before. Usually, it's like something's impacted where it's not working completely. They're like, we're down. We came in. We don't even know when our patients are coming in,
Oh, wow. Yeah, they were devastated.
Yeah.
And it's irrevocable at that point. I mean, because you don't have the kind of backup that you would have in a non-cloud-based system,
Well,
right?
the company's supposed to be restoring it, so they're responsible for it.
Oh, the cloud company, whoever they are. Okay.
Right, but you just don't know,
right.
What happened. I mean, another instance of that, it was a payroll company I know, and their software got the software they used went down. So the people couldn't call payroll in for a period of time. So I mean, things like that can really, shut down a business.
Yeah, they can do you in. Well, you've made me feel a whole lot better about not being cloud-based.
Yeah.
And we're really delighted that you could join us here and tell a little bit about Herko Computers and your beginnings. We wish you much, much success. Hope you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
Because we rely on you. And thank you so much, Doug Herko, Herko Computers, herkocomputers.com, for joining us here today on Business Voice.
Oh, thank you.
All right, stick around. We've got much more to come. Don't go away. We'll be right back here on Business Voice.
Now, more than twice the power.
WYSL.
More powerful FM 92.1, FM 95.5 West, and 1040 AM WYSL Avon Rochester.
The loss of a loved one can be an overwhelming time of hectic activity and high emotion. Remembering and celebrating the lives of those who have passed is important and fulfilling. A meaningful farewell, focusing on their life story, can help with healing. Some families turn to the clergy at their church to capture the essence of a person's life. However, those who may not be connected with the church may worry there is no one to fulfill this important role. At Bartolomeo and Parado, we believe that a life remembered lives on. One of our trained funeral celebrants can help you thoughtfully design and organize your loved one's treasured memories and ensure that the story of their life is not forgotten. Discover how you can create a meaningful farewell. Visit Bartolomeo.com or call us today at 585-720-6000.
Need help with health insurance? The Greece Regional Chamber provides assistance with health insurance for businesses, nonprofits, families, and individuals throughout our region. We pride ourselves on the personalized service that we provide for our clients. Let us help you find health insurance plans that fit your needs and navigate the paperwork. Greece Chamber Benefit Partners, located at 2402 Westridge Road in Rochester, New York, offers a broad range of medical insurance plans for businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and families throughout the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region, working with insurance companies including Excellus plus Blue Cross Blue Shield, Univera, and MVP Healthcare. We can also help you access insurance plans through the New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Again, you do not need to live or work in Greece to utilize our brokerage services. We serve the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region of New York State. Visit greecechamber.org to sign up for one of our free health insurance information sessions or schedule an appointment with one of our licensed brokers. Call 585-227-7272. 585-227-7272.
Elder Care Law directs traffic at the intersection of family, finances, and freedom. And elder care law is important to all of the generations. If you're concerned with protecting your wealth or inheritance by the next generations, staying independent and in your own home throughout your life, reconciling family disputes over money and control, then Parker Law Office can help you. To learn everything that you ever wanted to know about elder care law, but were afraid to ask, join Parker Law Office at the offices of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce on Thursday, March 12th at 9 a.m. for a continental breakfast and free seminar about elder care law. Space is limited, so call 585-227-7272 or visit greecechamber.org to reserve your space.
Platinum Business Brokerage helps small business owners just like you figure out where they're going and how to best exit their business. We have qualified buyers calling us constantly to buy businesses just like yours. We will give you a full 2-hour meeting to discuss strategies and also give you a free business valuation, a $1,700 value. You can reach us at 585-458-4250. That's 585-458-4250. Or on the web at pbbny.com. That's pbbny.com.
Depositing your money with Genesee Regional Bank helps strengthen the local community. That's because GRB lends its deposits to local businesses and individuals so they can grow and prosper. From your favorite bakery to your family dentist to the technology company where your neighbor works to helping families buy a home. That keeps Rochester rock solid. Become a GRB client today. Genesee Regional Bank. Community banking, community building.
Visit grbbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 417491.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
Tell advertisers you heard about them on WYSL. AM 1040 and 92.1 FM and 95.5 West.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Parado Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host and the president of the Greece Regional Chamber, and I'm delighted to welcome my next guests, two gentlemen from a wonderful startup photonics company right here in Rochester. Zach Niazi, who is the founder and CEO, and Ian Gauger, the director of operations. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I'm delighted that you're both here. You guys are in the thick, right, of an arena that's probably a little bit mystifying, actually, as well as exciting to the average person. Photonics has been talked about a whole lot, certainly in the greater Rochester region, because, you know, an awful lot of money and attention, certainly coming from New York State and the federal government and elsewhere, has been put on the photonics industry. And you guys are a startup company, one of several, right, that are being, I don't know what the word is, cultivated maybe is the word I'm searching for, and encouraged to grow and blossom here in the greater Rochester region. But, you know, I think you're bringing a ton to the table, and part of what I'm hoping we can do is talk about what your company's focused on and what it is that you have recently accomplished. And also then you're going to maybe give us a little science lesson, because I think the average bear, I know I'm an average bear, right, doesn't know what photonics is, barely knows what a photon is, and doesn't understand the breadth of the impact that you guys can have. So I'm going to start with you, Zach, because you're the, right, if I might. Tell us a little bit about what you're focused on as a company.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Zach Niazi. I'm the founder and CEO of Circle Optics. And at Circle Optics, we really got started with this mission of how can we enable scalable, immersive video content for the masses. It got started way back when I asked a mentor of mine, why if Google Street View is mapping the planet, why can't I put on a headset and walk around Venice, Italy with my Oculus Rift device? Why do I see one photo every street block rather than a continuous 60 frame per second moving walkthrough of the canals of Venice and see what it's like to be living a day in the average life there? And I got started on this question, and we've realized that the fundamental bottleneck to developing out that type of content is the cameras just aren't there yet. The cameras suffer from perspective differences. 360-degree cameras are composed of multiple cameras that have different perspectives, and those different perspectives cause stitching errors whereby when the images are fused together, you might see a street pole that's misaligned and a person is half in one frame and half in another frame. And special software and people need to fix these images pixel by pixel. And so I got started really trying to address that problem and saying that if we're going to bring 360 video to the masses, we've got to make the content scalable. We have to eliminate that problem called stitching, which is what we focus on.
And as I understand it, you have not only posed that question and challenge, but it sounded like you possibly met it. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we've invented the world's first stitch-free 360 camera. It's the first camera in the world that can capture perfect 360-degree video instantly.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I mean, I just want to take a minute. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
And that's not just amazing as in you did a little science project here or a little photonics project downtown. That's like you just revolutionized, a major arena in technology and beyond technology. It's going to really change the way in which we experience the world.
That's right. And we believe this could have a big impact to all camera technology in the future because historically, if you want to have a wide field of view, not even 360, but thinking like 180 degrees, some people are familiar to what's called the fisheye effect. You either have a lot of distortion if you've got one camera, or if you have multiple cameras, you have the perspective differences and the stitching. And we're the first people that can come along and say you can have your cake and eat it too. We can have as large a field of view, as nice quality as you want, and this can apply to many different industries in the future, not just virtual reality.
I think the applications we can't even, as with all things that are groundbreaking, we probably can't even wrap our arms or our minds around what the applications are. You mentioned, though, virtual reality, which is, of course, coming down the pike. Okay, it's here. It just isn't here in every home. I don't have a virtual reality helmet at home, but they exist and they work, as I understand it. So as we move forward with our lives and, all aspects of life and society, you mentioned experiencing Venice. Not having to leave your own home. This could have a bad impact on the travel industry, but but being able to really, really experience another place in a three-dimensional way without having goofiness that you're going to find with current cameras and current videos and current limitations.
Yeah, and that was really the passion. Is I'm a world traveler and I like to travel around the world.
Nice.
Yeah, and I really wanted to make travel and being able to experience the wonders of the world accessible. Most people have not seen the pyramids of Egypt or the Great Wall of China. I haven't seen those pieces. But once you make this type of technology accessible, and really virtual reality has the power to make this technology accessible. Once you make the pyramids of Egypt and the Great Wall of China accessible, everyone in the world can suddenly access that information, and they can feel as though they're walking around without having to afford the expensive plane ticket.
That's great. I imagine this is, I can think of a couple of other applications. One would be, an art form, right? I got photography and film, which of course are the other, the core imaging, other core imaging industries that came right out of Rochester, by the way. I can imagine that they would be forever changed by virtue of the work that you've just accomplished. It won't happen overnight, but they could be, and they probably will be. So I don't know if have you thought about applications? I'm looking at Ian, because Ian is Director of Operations, Ian Gauger from Circle Optics.
Yeah, so there's a multitude of applications here. So really where we're actually starting is at the high end with cinematic content. So working with studios that are producing this type of 360 entertainment. And then we're going to move on to, mapping the world, like Zach said, and doing that. But, think about Google Street View and stuff like that. And, autonomous vehicles need maps to run.
Oh, right.
So that's all going to run off that one day. And then eventually you get to, things like smart cities, security, and other aspects like that will all use this technology.
And it's likely to change the way we spend our time, experience the world around us, and spend our time. And that's a heavy responsibility. Actually, it's an amazing accomplishment. Once again, congratulations. And it's also, it poses more questions. The work is not done, and I imagine if you were interested in your work before, you're probably even more interested now, and nothing like an enormous breakthrough like this. So let's take a step back. Circle Optics, startup company. Tell us about the company. How long have you been in business, and how did you come to be? And I think you've gotten some support along the way. I think you've, as I mentioned, that you're part of this Rochester Photonics cluster. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so Circle Optics, as Zach said, he really started with this problem a number of years ago while at the University of Rochester. He started working on it full time in 2014, but as of late 2017, we've been incorporated. So Circle Optics Inc. In 2019, we moved to Rochester. Went from being a company of one, Zach, to two, Zach and Ian. And
is this from New York that you moved, by the way?
That's right, New York City.
Yep. I've heard of it. Yep. I've spent a good chunk of my time in New York, so yeah.
Yeah, so since then, we now have 5 full-time employees, 2 more part-time. We're a total of 13 when we include our consultants and our interns and everyone. So we've been growing super fast, and we've received so much support from the community, not just the Lumina Accelerator and NextCore, our incubator, but just from individuals in the community. Everyone's so helpful. Most of our team is built of former Kodak employees and IMAX employees that were stationed here as well. So the resources in Rochester, for a startup are amazing, and especially if you're an optics, photonics, or imaging startup, it's really the best place in the world to be.
Oh, what a nice thing that's a great thing to hear. That's a great thing to hear. And in addition to which, I think this is great for people to hear. This concretizes, this really makes real, what has been described in sort of vague 20,000-foot terms. So,
mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly. And as Ian mentions, I was pleasantly surprised when moving to Rochester at just how much talent and resources there is for the optics community. Back in New York City, it could be very challenging to find the right talent, optical engineers, developers who specialize in image processing software. Rochester has this whole ecosystem of technologists, really brilliant minds that were left over really from the Kodak days and the Bausch & Lomb days. And with those companies dissolving, there's really this ripe opportunity for startups that are coming around in optics and photonics to move to Rochester and really take advantage of all the talent and resources that this community has to offer.
That's great. I promised this at the beginning, and I don't want to not do it. Photonics, a term that that obviously is what you live and breathe. But what exactly is photonics? What is a photon? Because photonics comes from the word photon, correct?
Yeah, so photonics typically refers to optical technologies. Most people think of photonics as being laser-based technologies or fiber optics technologies, as opposed to optics, which is the study of camera design, lens design, so your like Nikon camera, and so on. So really optics and photonics is categorized into this broad technology that relates really to taking light and making technologies out of them between a camera, a laser system, or the fiber optic system that communicates all of our data across the internet.
Using light.
Because
a photon is a unit of light, correct?
That's correct. Using the physics of light and engineering those physics to create technological advancements that benefit people.
And it's possible to use light, a photon being maybe the smallest unit of light that we've figured out so far. So it's possible to use light as a way to communicate. It's possible to use light as a way to transmit information.
Certainly.
And it's possible to use light in a way that is perhaps, I'm not even sure if this is the right term, but not just fast, but perhaps doesn't even exist in a context where time matters?
So two elements there. Certainly, it's used to communicate information. In particular, all the data that when you go to google.com or you use the internet, that data is being sent across fiber optic cables that are running across the Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean all over the world. These fiber optic cables are communicating signals. When you communicate with your friends over your iPhone or your smartphone, it will travel across up to a satellite, and that information is received by electromagnetic signal, another form of light, another frequency of light, in order to send us information at the speed of light, which in a billionth of a second, light travels 1 foot, so that's extremely fast.
From our perspective, pretty much instantaneous.
Pretty much instantaneous. And some people are playing around with the future of optical technologies, which is quantum optics. And when you start to get into quantum optics and you look at how photons can be entangled in different places, you could start to get to interesting properties that almost seem to potentially exceed light. But it raises some interesting challenges there.
But anything that, if light is a way to send information, and we're all about information, right, these days, maybe we always were, and if you can send a lot of information using a photon, using light, from our perspective, almost instantaneously, it obviously has tremendous applications and might change the way in which our world has been geared as an electronic world. But an electronic world is based on the electron, and you guys are working with the photon. So I'm just trying to throw out there that this is an absolutely important frontier that Rochester's at the front of, and you guys are at the front of, that people may not appreciate yet because, it's still early.
Certainly, and I would actually say that it's already changed our lives in so many ways. You can't communicate across the internet without going across these, using photonics, and it's going to continue to advance as we move to self-driving cars and robotics technologies. You're going to see a growing need for optics and photonics technology as the heart of the sensors in a self-driving car is a LiDAR system and many cameras, and so more and more we're going to see a need for optical and photonics companies, and that puts our area, Rochester and the surrounding communities, at a prime place to really tackle the new wave of technical innovation.
What you're doing is so interesting and groundbreaking and obviously deep that I'm hoping that you guys will come back because unfortunately we're out of time today, but I want to hear more, and I'm betting that the listening audience does as well. Zach, right? Niazi,
yep.
And Ian Gauger, Circle Optics, right here in Greater Rochester. Thank you so much for coming and joining us here on Business Voice.
Thank you for having us.
That just about wraps it up for us here today on Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce sponsored by Bartolomeo and Parado Funeral Home. I want to thank my guests here today, wonderful guests, Kim Tanner from Home 2 Suites by Hilton, Doug Herko of Herko Computers, and of course, Zach Niazi and Ian Gauger of Circle Optics. They were all terrific, and I hope you tune in again to the next edition of Business Voice.
You've been listening to Business Voice. The Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce serves businesses, nonprofits, and individuals throughout the region, focusing on promoting economic and community development and serving as the voice for business. The Chamber offers networking, education, advocacy, community events, and business services. It serves as an important platform for business leaders and citizens to come together in support of common goals.